Hi, it's Leslie, Married at First Sight. And Michael's back. I don't know if he went anywhere, but he's back. Maybe he had a little therapy, a little time to recover from what they called the debacle at the altar. Just so you remember how this went down.
I'm sorry. I don't think I can do this. I don't want to marry a stranger.
Oh.
And the experts just feel horrible about this. This is a first in Married at First Sight history. You know, however many seasons, 15 seasons. This has never happened. Uncharted territory.
It's, to me, an emotional disaster. I feel terrible about it, and I want to find out how he's thinking and how he's feeling. Honestly, I feel terrible about being one of the people who matched him, because had I an inkling, this, of course, wouldn't have happened.
You should feel terrible. But of course, Dr. Pia, one to take no blame, had to chime in after that.
You can never know exactly what's going to happen. You make the best decision that you have based on the information that you have at the time. And I don't think any of us could have seen this coming.
No, we couldn't.
I think I could have. Michael's a unique kind of individual. I think I could have seen this coming. I could have done better than you experts. However, Pastor Cal calls Michael a very classy, gentle man. He is a nice guy, and for this part, I actually agree with the experts. He does seem like a really nice guy, but who are we kidding? He is an acquired taste. As we saw as he cruised on in, wearing the crown and his pants that had flowers halfway down, I think he's an acquired taste. And the whole crazy thing about this is this.
Yes, amazing.
The crown for me.
I like the crown.
I have no negative things to say about the crown. It was a great gift, so.
It's funny that this unknown girl that we've never seen other than her long dark hair from the back had enough whatever to send him a crown, and he actually loved it and wore it and is still wearing it. But if you ask me, it kind of made him look like a tool. But who's asking me? Nobody. But, I felt bad for him, because if it was me, you're on national TV, someone does that to you, I think your first instinct would be to lash out and do something nasty back, or say, hey, you're not, I think I would have come up with something. But you know what? He was a trooper. He didn't lash out at her, and he was really nice. So props to him. He is a really nice guy. Anyway, all this meeting with Michael just comes down to one big question that they had for him.
If we could find someone we thought was worthy, would you be willing to take another chance while we're still in Denver? I don't know if there is such a person, but if there were, would you want to face that moment again?
Oh, good God. I feel like, what could go worse? He's already done it before. They're going to find somebody and they're going to be like, you know what? If you leave him at the altar, she probably signed a contract that she can, or she has to pay money or something. They're going to lock that in for sure. But leave it to Michael.
So to answer your question, I would 100% do this again.
So Michael's in again, and so I guess they're often looking at the hundreds of people that didn't make the cut the first time. I guess they're back in the mix. Kind of like leftovers, but whatever. We don't have to think of them as leftovers. There are other people that didn't hit them as a big match, but now they're looking differently. Michael says he wants a silly, goofy girl, so we're pulling all those silly, goofy girls back in. They were not in the first round, but they're back in, so that's what we're working with. So this is happening, and Michael, of course, met with his friends who were devastated for him, seeing him that upset, and I would be as a friend. It was horrible what he had to go through, and it's just on national TV, but you know what? You sign yourself up for this shit. But you know what? You feel so bad, and he's a nice guy. That's what makes you feel worse. And the girlfriend had a very good point. She was kind of like, they messed up before, fool me once. What are they going to do differently the next time? Like, what have they changed? Very valid. Michael says this.
So, I know I didn't go into too much detail with you guys, but I did have an opportunity to chat with the experts. But I felt like they took accountability, I guess.
They took accountability? Did I miss that? It seemed like they didn't. It seems like it was just kind of like Dr. Pia kind of, pushed it off as like, oh, it could happen to anyone. You can only, they didn't take accountability. They just felt bad, whatever. But that friend had a really good point. What are they going to do differently this time that it's not going to end up like last time? And I thought to myself, that's pretty much what I ask myself at the end of every season as I'm tuning into the next season. Why is this going to go any different? Did they change anything? And yet I tune back in for this nonsense. You know, it's the same old crap every year. I don't know if they're changing anything, but Michael's a trooper.
Are you willing to get married at first sight again?
I had kind of made peace with the possibility that that may not be in my future. But I most definitely am, yes.
He's a trooper and he will be getting married again in less than 2 weeks. So now would be a good time if you want to subscribe and follow along with this nonsense, because Lord knows this is going to be interesting, because the pressure's on. They can't screw this one up, because he may be the only one who's got a chance as we get into the other remaining 3 couples who are doom and gloom. Anyway, let's just move on to Emily and Brennan. Also very much struggling. Still reeling from the meeting with Dr. Pia, how she wants them to play a game of touching each other. Anything to get a little spark going. And Brennan shut that down immediately. Brennan's open to this.
Like for me, I like hugging.
Yeah.
So I think instead of like the whole boop and then boop, can we like agree to like try to hug more?
Yeah, I love hugging.
Okay, awesome. Should we start that now?
Right this very moment?
Yeah.
Emily's like, sure, you know, and they give a little hug. I mean, that's wonderful. I guess that beats touching because Brennan's not into that, but a little hug is harmless enough. But this is not enough for Emily.
I know you don't want to go to therapy, and I get it, but I need you to continue just to like open up and share more.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's getting better.
Yeah.
Emily's adamant they need to talk more. Brennan is not in touch with his feelings, and I just kind of throw out there as just a possibility. Could it be that he's actually very in touch with his feelings? He's just not telling anybody. He's just not into her. I don't know why everyone's trying to make this into a big thing. Granted, he is a weirdo, and they're painting him as just this odd bird. But you know, he just may not be into it. He's not into her. It's, you know, he knows what's going on with his feelings. He's not attracted to her. Whatever. But they both say they're committed, you know. I mean, they're saying the right things. It's just the actions they're struggling with.
But yeah, like, I just wouldn't be doing this if I didn't want to or think it was worth it.
Same.
Yep, they say they're committed, but Emily is kind of running to the end of her rope there. She's getting annoyed. So they take their advice and they try to have a little fun, and Emily and Brennan go off horseback riding, where Brennan has a great connection with the horse. Not missed on Emily, but whatever, at least he's connecting with something. But as they reflect back on this very emotional week, Emily says this.
I feel like this week could have gone better, at least for me. Like, getting in, living together, crazy schedules. Like, I feel like we got into a rhythm.
It couldn't? I think it could have gone a lot better, Emily. But, you know, I'm not in your position. I think it could have gone a whole lot better than this.
This has been like very tough, like at least for me. And in the past, I would have just ran from like a red flag. I'd be like, oh, not there anymore, done.
Yeah, that was a weird thing to say. Like, he sees a red flag. What is the red flag? He must know what that is. But I guess what he's saying it is that the attraction either fizzled or he was all hyped up because of the moment and it actually wasn't there to be. I don't know. He's like dancing a dance, and it's all his pat answer to everything is, I'm just taking it day by day. He answers that. That's his answer, even when it doesn't even make sense with the question. But Emily is adamant.
I need to see more. We're in this space because he can't express like the littlest of things that I think would help me understand like why he's feeling the way he is. Like, we have to move forward, and in order to do that, I need to see a little bit more of him opening up and expressing himself.
And this little clip, I just thought this was kind of ironic. This was Brennan's answer for his, you know, how he's dealing with this whole process.
Yeah, I think we're just taking it day by day, honestly. Trying to make the previous day better than the next.
That would be true, making the previous day better than the next. I don't know if you meant to say that, but ironically that is true, because the last day was better. It's only going downhill. Way to sum it up, Brennan. But Emily's pissed. She realizes she deserves more. But you know what, people? You sign up for this for 8 weeks. You're not deserving of anything. You know, you really don't deserve anything in this. You put yourself out there. No one, you're not entitled to the person to love you. You don't deserve anything. You deserve to be treated nicely by a person, but I don't think he's done anything like that. You don't deserve to be loved by him. No, he doesn't have to love you if he doesn't want. This is the show. This is the crap you signed up for. You know, you sign all that away when you sign up for this nonsense. But anyway, let me press on. Now on to Becca and Austin. They are our best couple, and that is saying absolutely nothing. And this religion is doing them in. I mean, it hit Cameron and Claire, but they got other issues. But this was crazy to me. I guess they have a talk about religion, finally, the big topics, and Austin kind of concedes that he thinks she might be going to hell. And I'm like, oh my God, like, how do you say, that's like what you say to someone when you're really pissed and you hate their guts, you go to hell? Well, I guess he basically, in a nice, calm tone, said she might be going to hell. I could understand how she wouldn't like that. But he tries to counteract that little thing with this.
Austin was being, like, very loving and comforting and just telling me that, like, you know, even if it does end up that, like, I do die and I do go to hell, like, he still thinks that he can, like, love me in the same way in this lifetime.
Well, how big of you, Austin? He says he can love her even if she is going to hell. Oh my God, he needs to stop talking. And equally understandable, Becca is uncomfortable with this. And it makes her kind of, like, sad and ugh.
If you do think that I'm going to hell, then that won't work for me.
Yeah, that would be kind of, like, disturbing a little. Yeah. And then this was funny. So Austin, realizing that this is kind of like a hard stop for Becca, he was like, oh, I don't know what I got into here. He was like, no, I don't know what I think. I don't know what I think. But I think that was a lie right there. And I'll get into why. But, oh, they go ice skating and all, you know, when they stop talking about the big issues, you know, they do like each other and they're all happy. And I don't think anything more has happened in the bedroom, but that's another thing that we don't understand. But, you know, they say all the right things.
I do promise to be with you through thick and thin and, like, respect you and be kind to you and listen to you and give you the things you need to be successful.
It was, like, very comforting to hear that in your vows, and to hear it again today is nice. Oh, thank you.
Absolutely.
But I think Austin, he was taught that if you don't believe in what you believe in Jesus Christ, that you're going to hell if you don't believe that. Because when he was talking with his friend, he basically said that this is what I was taught. You know, that's what I believe. And I think he realized that's a deal breaker for Becca. So thankfully he held back on that because you know what? I don't know. They're way ahead of themselves. They got 8 weeks, people. Let's at least get through this part, you know, before you tackle in the big issues. And we're gonna end it up nicely with Claire and Cameron, who maybe this might have been one of the first, is that they're so nice to each other. They're almost like killing each other with kindness. At least they're so respectful. Cameron liked her. Claire wasn't into him. I mean, and that's the luck of the draw. So they went figure skating, trying to have a little fun, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Nothing's going to change the situation. Cameron's basically checked out. Who could blame him seeing like the devastation in the wake of Lauren and Orion or Ryan or Onion or whatever? I mean, no one would want to sign up for that. But, you know, they did what Dr. Pia said.
We're taking Dr. Pia's advice.
Yep,
We're having fun.
we are.
We're killing the fun.
Alrighty then, but you know, they just have a fundamental issue that you really, no matter all the talking and all the things, you can't get past this.
We did not sign up for this to be in a platonic marriage. I mean, did you sign up for a platonic marriage? Because I most certainly didn't.
I did not.
And do you feel like that's where like, it's just weird?
Yep, no one did, and I don't think you can change that. It just is what it is. I think, you know, all your questions and experts can't figure that one out before you meet. And even more comical is Claire and Cameron then decide to seek marital advice from Lauren and Onion. Like, those two have a clue? Like, why those two? Like, what? That was a useless waste of time, but it was somewhat entertaining, but you know. Oh well, so they're basically pretty much done. Cameron sends a text to Claire that he's not coming home, and Claire is found sobbing realizing this is just all too much. She didn't realize the emotional toll this would take on her.
He is a great person, and like, I want to be able to, you know, but it's just been a lot mentally for me.
So they all have a dinner at the end, and basically it comes out that Cameron and Claire have decided to part ways. And that's best for the both of them. It's not going anywhere. Another month wouldn't do anything but hurt Cameron. I get that. So bail now. But Austin reflected upon their very mature way of handling their split.
You guys handle this and are handling it like really maturely. And the fact that you guys can still just be so friendly with each other and like enjoy each other's company, you know.
Yeah, I know, that is pretty
like,
amazing.
I think that's amazing, and yeah.
Yep, I think that was a little shout out to Lauren and Onion, you know, the two who can't handle it maturely and enjoy each other's company. But, you know, shout out to them because we haven't forgot about them. So Cameron moves out and it's a wrap for those two. So it is down to 3, but it's 3, but we have 1 jumping back in. So I don't know. Never know. Maybe Michael will be the big winner. Wouldn't that be a kick? But anyway, I follow this nonsense every week. So if you want to follow along, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you next week. Bye.